Are you serious? Are you serious? There is evil in the land, around the world. And Satan and his minions, his principalities and powers and spiritual wickedness that men are doing, were taught actually to them by the fallen angels as they go to and fro upon the earth, seeking to devour humanity and the creation of God. And I've got some information for you of things going on. I want to read, though, one verse from the book of Enoch that is referred to in the Bible. The book of Enoch is referred to in the Bible, but is not in your Bible. But I do want to read from the book of Enoch, chapter 8, one verse, one or two verses. And it's dealing with these principalities, these demons, these fallen angels, if you will. Principalities are very high-ranking demons, just under Lucifer. And there was one by the name of Azazel. And it says, and this is Enoch chapter 8, verse 1. And Azazel taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth and the art of working them. So they were taught how to, this fallen angel taught mankind, how to make weapons of war. And of course, man would use them. Now, here's some things that are going on. I want to thank Nick of New York for this report. But according to the South Sudan, there are clashes going on there. Dozens of soldiers have been killed in Juba. More than 60 soldiers have been killed in 2 days of clashes in South Sudan, the capital of Juba. Doctors at a military hospital are telling us fresh violence broke out again this morning. Today, December the 17th, 2013, a day after the government said it had squashed the attempted coup. Thousands of people have sought shelter at 2 UN compounds in the capital of Juba. And on Monday, December 16, 2013, President Salva Kiir blamed soldiers loyal to his former deputy, Riek Machar, he was taken out of power back in July for the violence. He said the clashes began with uniformed personnel opened fire at a meeting of the ruling party, former rebel force, the Sudan People's Liberation Movement. This happened on Sunday night, December the 15th. Fresh gunfire erupted this morning, Tuesday, December 17th, near the presidential palace and many other areas of the capital, Juba. Also, a doctor at a military hospital by the name of Ajak Bullion said that at least 66 soldiers had died in the clashes. And so far we have lost 7 more soldiers who died while they were waiting for medical attention. And a further 59 were killed outside. So a total of 66. A nighttime curfew is in place. They're under martial law. And at least 4 former ministers have been arrested after Sunday's alleged coup. The government said it was looking for Mr. Machar. He's the former president who had gone into hiding. Former deputy. And President Kiir, who had taken him out of power along with his whole cabinet back in July. So this coup, this power struggle is causing what looks like the beginning of a civil war in the South Sudan. And it doesn't need to we don't need any more of this weapons and murder. And of course, Nick of New York sent this to me. There are casualties this morning in Lebanon as a suicide bombing near Hezbollah checkpoint. Today, this morning, December 17th, 2013, deaths and casualties were reported after a suicide bomber rammed an explosive-laden vehicle into the Hezbollah checkpoint in East Lebanon. The incident occurred at around 3 a.m. this morning. A suicide bomber drove his vehicle into the 2 vans said to be carrying Hezbollah operatives near a Hezbollah checkpoint in the towns of Sobuba, and I don't know if I said that correctly, northwest there. And it's in the nation, the eastern part of the country of Lebanon. The state-run national news agency said there was numbers of casualties among the civilians and Hezbollah operatives. Ambulances were taking the injured away. We do not know what the death count was there, but it is quite high. That happened this morning as well. And then we have reports, Nick of New York, from Damascus, Syria, just outside of Damascus in Adara, Syria. We have new details of atrocities, folks, carried out by Islamic rebel fighters in the town of Adara, which is just 20 kilometers north of Damascus. Okay, so about 15 miles. It's basically a suburb of Damascus. It continues to pour in from survivors. They're getting more information there. Reportedly, at least 80 people have lost their lives, mostly through decapitation. The decapitators is how the Adara residents who managed to flee the violence there Now they call the people who currently have the town under their control. Adara is a town with a population of 20,000 people. They were captured by these Islamist rebels from the front and the army of Islam last week, following fierce fighting with the government forces. This is the Muslim Brotherhood. This is Al-Qaeda operatives working alongside the Muslim Brotherhood. And according to Russia Today, the Arabic has managed to speak to some of the eyewitnesses of the atrocities. Most of them have fled the town, leaving their relatives and friends behind, so they asked not to be identified. But here's what they're saying. An Adara resident said he escaped from the town under a storm of bullets. He later contacted his colleagues, who described how the executions of civilians were being carried out by the militants. And what's killing me, John McCain went there, put his arms around Muslim Brotherhood and Al-Qaeda operatives and said, I found the good guys. The good guys are going into villages and suburbs of the city of Damascus, Syria, and are butchering the people. The civilians. They're killing civilians. Listen to why they're doing it. They had lists of government employees that worked for President Assad and the Syrian government. They had these lists of their names and their addresses. They told Russia Today. This means they had planned it beforehand. They went there specifically to murder these people. They had planned it beforehand, and they knew who's worked in the government agencies. They had these lists. So they went to the addresses they had on their list. They forced the people out of their homes and subjected them to a so-called Sharia trial. I think that's what they call it, a Sharia trial. They sentenced them to death by beheading, and they executed them on the spot. A woman hiding her face from the camera told Russia Today of the beheadings she had seen. Quote, there was a slaughter everywhere. The eldest was 20 years old. She was slaughtered. They were all children. I saw them with my own eyes. They killed 14 people with a machete. And I don't know if these people, I don't know why they are being slaughtered. They grabbed them by their heads and slaughtered them like sheep. Now the media won't say this, but this is an area of a lot of, where not all are Christians, but a lot of Christians live in this area. I'm sure that some of these government workers are Christian that are being killed. Some of them are probably Islamic as well. Your media, you won't see this story being broadcast on none of your major networks. They're fighting about politics. They're calling each other names on national television in the United States media, bickering and who's sleeping with who, and what does his opinion pose, and what do they think about this, and the Democrats hate the Republicans, and the Republicans hate the Democrats, and everybody hates everybody, and nobody's focusing on the real issues that are going on around the world, not just the atrocities. These are demon spirits working in men's hearts. And they're wrapped up in this Islamic militant massacring of the masses with this misguided messages and messengers of Mecca. I'm sorry. And it's not just them. There's others that aren't even Islamic. It's wickedness. You know, the Bible said that every imagination of their heart was on evil continually. As it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the coming of the Son of Man. Their hearts were filled with every imagination of the heart. Where did they get the imagination? Demons, fallen angels, demonic spirits taught them, and then man carried it out. And they've taught them everything. And man has followed. See, we have an opportunity to choose to follow the voice of the Lord or the voice of devils. The Bible says you cannot eat off the Lord's table and the table of devils. Now that means eating the manna. You can either eat the manna from God or the poison, molded, dead food of Satan. You can eat of the tree of life in God and his Son, or you can eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Jesus said, when I come back, will I find any faith left? You know, I'm going to talk about these things today on my live show, so please don't miss it today. It's going to be a powerful show. We're going to deal with the current world events. We're going to deal with the events nobody else wants to talk about. The persecution of the church. Does anybody want to talk about Christians? The European crusade against Christianity. Anybody want to talk about any of these Christians being murdered ever? All over the world? No. Nobody wants to talk about what's these people being slaughtered like sheep. You know, the Bible tells you, Damascus. Isaiah 17:1. The burden of Damascus. Behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city. It shall be a ruinous heap. Damascus has fallen. We've already got news articles now. Basically, it doesn't matter if President Assad's got the title or not. The country of Syria is not functioning as a country. And the city of Damascus is no longer a city. It's a battleground. It's a war zone. Look what it said would happen in Jeremiah. Can I tell you this? Jeremiah said it this way in Jeremiah 49, verses 23 through 27. Concerning Damascus, Hamath is confounded, and Arpad, for they have heard evil tidings. They are faint-hearted. There's sorrow on the sea. It cannot be quiet. Damascus is waxed feeble. It turneth herself to flee. Fear has seized on her. What do you think these people are experiencing? They're watching their neighbors pulled out of their homes and butchered in the streets of their neighborhoods. Fear has seized on her. Anguish and sorrows have taken her as a woman in travail. How is the city of praise not left the city of my joy? Therefore her young men shall fall in the streets, and all the men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will kindle a fire in the wall of Damascus, and it shall consume the palaces of Ben-Hadad. Oh, Lord, have mercy. I can't really handle this. Jesus is coming. Come get us, Jesus. Come get the bride. Come and get us. We're ready. We're ready.